Officially known as the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super Nintendo is the number 4 game console of all time, and it's really not that hard to explain why. While the game console looked ugly and disgusting and blocky and like a kid's toy, it was amazing. You were able to easily modify it and play Japanese games, something you couldn't do anywhere else in the world. It had an amazing controller that was super comfortable to hold and had different concave and convex buttons to make it super comfortable to use, plus some shoulder buttons that were really easy to press. And it had an amazing software library. But again, so did many of the other game consoles that I put on here. So why is this one at number 4? Well, it's probably because I'm a little bit biased towards the 16-bit era of game. I feel that these games age extremely well. I could pop in a 16-bit game now and the game still looks and plays excellently. When you go to other consoles like the Nintendo 64, the Sega Saturn, the PS1, a lot of those games have not aged very well because of the 3D textures. But for the Super Nintendo, they aged extremely well. I could still pop in even Star Fox, and it plays and looks excellent. Another thing about the 16-bit era of games is that there was a true competition going on. During the 8-bit era, there was the NES and the Sega Master System, but they really weren't on the same level. The NES had over 90% of the market share in the United States for game consoles, so there wasn't a true competition going on. However, once we got to the 16-bit era, we had the Genesis and we had the Super Nintendo at war. And it was a war that did carry on for years, and because of that, some of the most amazing games ever came out on their platforms. And the Super Nintendo eventually came out on top, selling about 10 million consoles more. And it's really no surprise because the Super Nintendo has one of the best game libraries ever, with games like Star Fox, Killer Instinct, Super Mario All-Stars, Illusion of Gaia, Donkey Kong Country, Super Castlevania 4, Pilot Wings, F-Zero, Super Mario World, Super Street Fighter 2, and my favorite game of all time, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. This game alone propels the Super Nintendo as high as it is. It is an amazing title. It is perfect. There is nothing wrong with it. It has a fantastic story, fantastic graphics, fantastic gameplay. There's nothing to hate about A Link to the Past. It is the best example of a perfect game. And I'm very lucky that I had friends growing up that would allow me to come over to their house, have my own save file on their cartridge, and play through this masterpiece. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to play it until just in the last couple of years when I bought my own Super Nintendo. I didn't have one growing up. I didn't have the opportunity to play these games. So for me, this is truly a console that I missed out on. And every game for me is still a new experience and a fun one at that. Aside all the fantastic RPGs that are super sought after now, there are a menagerie of fantastic games for this console, and I really just can't get enough of it. It is exactly as its name implies. It is a Super Nintendo, and really what is there left to say about this console? It's fantastic, it has great games, it has a super controller. What else is there to say? It's a Super Nintendo. If you don't have one, go buy one right now. They're awesome. It's number 4 on my list. I'll see you guys next week for number 3. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and to buy or sell any of the games or consoles discussed in this episode, go ahead and visit GameGavel.com, the only auction site built by gamers for gamers without the high eBay fees.